I guess this is it. I guess we're cooked. I'm actually happy Frank Ocean decides to stay dead silent instead of whatever you want to call this. That's what somebody on X said about a recent statement that A$AP Rocky gave in an interview about Don't Be Dumb, his new album, basically saying that he doesn't even want to drop it. But we're gonna go over the interview today and what happened with Rocky in the meantime and how it looks like we're cooked, so let's jump straight into this. If you want to stay up to date with everything surrounding hip-hop, make sure to subscribe and also become a part of this community by joining our Discord server in the description. You can now sign up for my free newsletter with the first link in the description. It comes every Sunday and recaps everything that's been happening in hip-hop over the past week, so make sure to do that. So it looks like everything is going great for A$AP Rocky. Just in the recent past, in the past week, he received the award from the Council of Fashion Designers in America. Great. Fashion again. This is something that we talked about quite a bunch, how music isn't his top priority, it more looks to be fashion right now. But hey, congrats to the guy. I mean, getting an award like that is pretty cool. He's also filming a new commercial right now for Chanel in New York, where he has these very cool scenes in public that you might have seen on your timeline. Here's a glimpse into that. So it all looks great. It all looks like he's having the time of his life. You know, he's married to Rihanna. He has kids with her. It's all looking great for him, but obviously the question is, where is Don't Be Dumb? That's the question that fans are asking. And remember last video? Remember that we talked about this Puma commercial that he did because he has this collection with Puma, and in the commercial for that collection, he referenced Don't Be Dumb like a million times. Cut a little compilation of all the times he mentions them. You can go check it out in the last video, but that was actually insane. And then remember how in an interview for the Numero magazine, he talked about how he doesn't want to talk about release dates anymore because he doesn't want to disappoint the fans, whatever. We already had the feeling like, okay, something's up. Something's not going the way it should be going right now. But he doubled down on that again. He doubled down on giving fans that disappointment. Because after receiving the Council of American Fashion whatever reward, and after doing the Chanel ad, and after being kind of a little bit more in the public again, he was the cover of Perfect magazine. You can order the magazine. The covers look pretty cool. I mean, that's what they do. But obviously, he also gave an interview for them. This was written by Amber Later. Credit where credit is due. It's titled, "It's Not Really About Who Did It First, It's About Who Did It Best." A$AP Rocky interviewed for Perfect A$AP Rocky Zine. And in that interview, I mean, we're not going to go through the whole thing. I picked out the most important things about the music because they talk about fashion. They talk about his role in Highest to Lowest, which some of you in the last video didn't recommend to me. Let me know if you have any more opinions on that. I still have not watched it, so that's why I'm asking. Anyway, it starts out with the music, actually. It says, "It's a bold move to title your debut album a declaration of longevity. Long live A$AP, A$AP Rocky's first studio album after the successful mixtape Live Love A$AP asserted his and his peers in rap collective A$AP Mob's eternality before their artistry had been fully put to the test. 13 years later, and the claim that A$AP Rocky is here to stay has transformed from an unfounded boast to an indisputable truth. In addition to multiple classic albums in his repertoire, he has a burgeoning acting career, founding the multifaceted creative agency and clothing brand OGG, and was recently made the first ever creative director of Ray-Ban." All of that is true. I mean, you could argue that it's not an indisputable truth anymore that, you know, he's here to stay because it's not looking too good. Anyway, it goes on to say, "I don't do all these different endeavors just because I got to be the first at the top of the mountain and plant the flag," he told me. "Because it's not really about who did it first, it's about who did it the best. Everything I do is based off building legacy. That's why I'm not so eager to just drop. I don't do things to just try and stay relevant or keep my name in the conversation. I try to do natural things, creative, ambitious things that really satisfy me. After showing 2 collections under the ARC banner at Paris Fashion Week, taking on acting roles opposite Hollywood royalty, and preparing for the release of a new album, Rocky's name seems poised to rise to even higher levels of prestige and influence at a time in his career when most other artists would be struggling to maintain relevance and inspiration. Art, nostalgia, hope, dreams, legacy, devotion, truth, family, it's all coming to a head. Now, obviously, you could very much argue that he is struggling to maintain relevancy. I mean, look at the singles he dropped. None of them performed well. They were the main reasons he didn't drop the record. He gave us release dates for Don't Be Dumb and didn't come through. This is a very positive way to look at all of that. And him saying he doesn't just want to drop, he's not eager to just drop. I mean, that's kind of the death sentence for Don't Be Dumb if we're being real. I mean, where can we come back from this? I do want to point out that he goes on to state in this thing, everything I do, I take it seriously and I get tunnel vision. So if I'm working on a film, that's all I'm working on at the moment. If I'm working on an album, that's all I'm working on. If I'm working on a collection, that's all I'm working on. I try to give these things the same amount of attention, tender love and care. Nothing's on the back burner. I don't give anything 50%, 60%. I just try to give 99.9%. I mean, that's really not what it's looking like with Don't Be Dumb, because you put out multiple release dates and never dropped the record. So realistically, you weren't there fully 100% because you were trying to do too many things, the collections. Maybe that's what he's focusing on 100%. But anyway, him saying he's not eager to just drop. A lot of people on X reacted to this saying that, he's scared. He's scared that this thing will fail. He's scared that if he puts it out and he's not going to, receive the feedback or the acclaim that he anticipates, that's going to kind of also be a downfall of his career. And in a lot of ways, that's true. In a lot of ways, that's already happening with the singles. But to me, it's just another kind of proof that he seems to be mocking the fans, or he's living in a really delusional state right now where he has no connection to what the fans are saying and want, and it's just kind of trying to avoid the harsh truth of him just not always being as relevant as he once was. But we have to wait and see. I guess this is the confirmation this album is not coming this year. If we're lucky, we'll get it next year. Let's see. I mean, I do want to know what y'all think about all of this. This is obviously not good news, but it's just crazy that we're in these times where that's happening. As I said, I do want to know what y'all think about this. Let's have a conversation in the comments, because us as fans, we need to stay strong together, even if Rocky is really letting us down a little bit. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on this in the comments down below.
If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.